y'all. Can y'all hear me? Let's see. Can you hear what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay, let's go through. Hello? Okay, perfect. Y'all can hear me. Okay. I was kind of confused for a moment. I'm not used to doing these live sessions, so it's a little bit different for me, especially because I can see all your comments and things to the side. And I have gotten a few questions over on Facebook, but I wanted to kind of do something different so that way I could interact with you and answer your questions like on the spot, I guess. Okay, so a couple of questions I have gotten already on Facebook, and I'm looking at my phone. It's a little bit easier to do. Let's see. One of the questions was from Andrea Holmes, Privis, and it says, "What vinyl do you recommend for car decals?" Which I have went over this a bunch of times before, but there are some of you that are new who have not seen all of my videos. So what I typically use for car decals is Oracal 651. And Bernice, I do see your question. What is the best type of vinyl to put on an umbrella? And HTV, most umbrellas are made from polyester, and I do have a tutorial on doing that from whenever we did Craftsmas, we decorated an umbrella. So a lot of these projects that you may ask about, there are probably videos on it. Let's see. I have multiple from Jody Cody. I have multiple colors of vinyl. Do I apply all separate, or can I get them all on the same transfer tape? Now, I have videos on both how to add registration marks and like use the same piece of transfer tape to get them all aligned. And then I also have videos of applying them in separate layers. So it kind of depends on what you like to use, which method works better for you. Oh, and yes, Deidre. Hi, Deidre. We are going to be doing some print and cut tutorials with Silhouette, Cricut, and Brothers Scan and Cut. I am testing out some the printable at-home heat transfer. One of the brands had sent me some, and there were some issues with it. So we're trying to troubleshoot if it is just an actual issue with the home printable, or if I may have just gotten a bad batch. Let's see. Question: if I'm using all three size easy presses, what guide should I buy from Glenda's? Okay, so Glenda, typically it depends on your pressing mat. Like with my easy press, I use a 15-inch by 24-inch Steady Betty. So I use the 15-inch t-shirt guide. Let's see. Okay, as I said, Abigail, we're still working on the printable HTV. Let's see. I'm trying to put my son's art on ramen bowls, so I'm thinking more decals. Have you ever done that? Place it in a 2-inch by 2-inch square. Yes, you can put adhesive onto a ramen bowl. You will want to let it set for at least 48 hours before putting it in the microwave. And depending on how tiny the design is, it may start to come off after a while. Well, thank you, Debbie. I do like my new hair too. I have a similar, Lisa said, I have a Cameo 3 and my mat keeps sliding. Any suggestions? Image is, okay, do you have your lever arm locked into place? There is a lever right there. If you can see that little split that's over by the screen, that will lock your arm into place, and that should keep your mat in place. On lightly stained wood, you can use either HTV or adhesive. It just kind of depends on the look that you're going for. What is a good inexpensive swing away? So far, I'm still looking at some swing aways. My inexpensive clamshell that I got from Amazon, which there's a review on, is good. But part of the thing is, like, we have 3 heat presses here, so it's kind of hard to test out all of everything that comes in. Let's see. I have trouble with glitter. How do you get it to stick to transfer tape? Sometimes you have to make sure you're using a strong enough transfer tape. And then if it's not wanting to lift, I take my pick and run it under the edge. So that way it kind of helps give it a chance to lift. What's a good, affordable, full-size heat press? I love yours, but yeah, mine is extremely expensive, and I wouldn't recommend mine to probably most anybody. Not that it's not a great press, it's just most people don't need to spend $5,000 on a heat press. For what I do, because we do direct to garment and things like that, I needed a adjustable heat press that would take and automatically switch between pressures. That's why I purchased that. But I can tell you for sure, the power press that I purchased on Amazon, we have it set up in the back. The girls use it every single day. See, so far, I mean, we've had it a year. It works pretty well. Let's see. I've ordered a Cricut maker. What type of projects do you practice with for do you suggest to practice with for t-shirts? Well, again, it kind of depends on what you feel comfortable doing. HTV is what you're going to use on, you're going to mess stuff up. So it kind of just depends. Ugh. Yes, you do have to use strong bond on glitter. Do you need business? No, you do not need business edition to do a print and cut on Silhouette Cameo 3. You can use just your regular basic Silhouette Studio. What type of HTV should I use for a large area 3-inch by 17-inch beach towel? Well, it kind of depends on what the beach towel is made out of to be able to tell you what kind of HTV to recommend for a project like that. Would HTV be more durable? Yes, HTV will definitely be more durable on that lightly stained wood sign. The HTV isn't going to start to lift as the adhesive, and it's not going to crack the same way that the adhesive will. Because typically, this is from washing and drying, the shirts that I have that are 10 years old that have HTV on them look better than the signs that have adhesive on them for 10 years. So it kind of just depends. And it depends on where you're putting it as well. What type of printer would I recommend for sublimation? I have not played a whole lot with sublimation in a long time. We used to, whenever sublimation first came out, we had a sublimation printer. And what I found is most people didn't want to spend the money on sublimated products, because back whenever we first got it, it was 100% polyester shirts, and they had to be a special polyester shirt. And they were pretty pricey, and nobody wanted it. So the heads dried up on it. But we have talked about getting into it again, or at least playing with it, but I'm not sure. Let's see. What is sublimation? Okay, sublimation is just a different printing technique. So you get transfers, and it's a special sublimation paper. It prints the design on it just like an inkjet printer would, and it is a paper. And then when you apply it to your shirt or to your object, sublimation, the process is actually turns the ink into a gas, and it is absorbed into the polyester coating or into the polyester fabric. That's why you have to use specific items. And they also sell like a polyester coating that you can use on certain objects. But in other words, you just coat it on there, and it makes it where that ink can bond actually into the cup or into the shirt. So It really doesn't fade. It doesn't change. It's a very expensive process, and it is easy to mess it up. Like if you're putting a design on a shirt, because that image turns into a gas, if whenever you raise your heat press up, if you accidentally bump it, it will shadow it. Let's see. Question: what are you going to do when you hit 100,000 subs? We are going to do something really special. I mean, we are very, very close. And again, it's all thanks to y'all. Who would have known that we would have gotten this big? I can't even imagine. Let's see. I have a 12 by 12 printer that can be used with a Cricut Maker. Can you set up to print 12 by 12? I think so. I really haven't messed with doing anything bigger because the inkjet that I have down here is just like a cheap, basic inkjet. So I've only tested on 8.5 by 11. Let's see. Do you know of any vinyl that is microwave or dishwasher safe? No. The problem with most vinyl, I mean, it's going to start to lift unless you put some type of coating on it, which you have to make sure whatever you're using has a food safe coating. So it kind of just depends, but no, I have not found any that are microwave or dishwasher safe. All of them over time come off. But even whenever you get a screen printed mug, eventually the pictures start to come off. If you put them through the dishwasher. Most things that add a picture to a cup or a plate eventually do come off. Oh, let's see, Tina, you made the Lucky Mickey for your grandson. I absolutely adore that design. Let's see. Customer service, you're welcome. Let's see, Dale Prescott, Old Salt. Where is Old Salt at? New Jersey? Okay, you cannot print and cut in 12 by 12 size in Cricut Explorer, Cricut Maker. Thank you, Gloria, for letting me know. I did not, because as I said, I have a 8.5 inch by 11. You made the Lucky Mini for your granddaughter? Awesome. Let's see. 95% polyester, 5% velvet throat, HTV stretch. No, you can use regular on that. I mean, for the most part, even though it has some spandex in it, you're not going to be sitting there stretching your blanket. So there's no reason to use stretch when you can use just regular HTV. And regular HTV is made to go on cotton, polyester blends. So I would definitely stick with just use. There's no point spending the extra money for a stretch vinyl. I have a request for Bitmoji stickers I made on my Cricut. Can I sell it? That I'm not sure of. That may be a copyrighted image. So, Dale, you're in Universal City, Texas. Okay, so I'm not familiar with where Universal City is. Texas is a big state, so there's a lot of places I'm not sure of. Let's see. Okay, I have a Cricut Air 2, but I have a hard time with design space. Any suggestions? Okay, so Rob, what are you having issues with in design space? Is it because the biggest issue that I have with design space is, since it is an internet-based program, if my internet decides to act wonky that day, then I can't do anything with my Cricut. I wish that Cricut would come out with a program that you can download onto your computer and you don't have the internet for, just like the Brother Scan and Cut and the Silhouette. That would be absolutely amazing. But at this point, I don't know if that's something that they're going to do. Let's see. Okay, what other brand of heat presses you have, and is that with a mug press? Okay, so my opinion, and this is my opinion, so don't come for me. Any press that has attachments to it, to me, does not seem super safe. So if you're buying a heat press for shirts, keep it for shirts. The idea of sitting there unplugging and plugging in different attachments makes me so nervous, especially when you're not spending a whole lot of money on it. To me, that's like, how safe could that be? So for my heat presses, what I have is I have a Hotronix Air Fusion, which is my big heat press. I have a Phoenix Fire clamshell in the back. My mug press is Phoenix Fire, and my cat press is a Hotronix. And then we also have a Power Press 15 by 15 inch heat press. So it kind of just depends, but that is just my opinion. Like, if you're wanting to buy a heat press, you need to buy one specifically for it. Again, I don't know, but also with Design Space, speaking of, I see people talking about Design Space in the comments. Do not use Internet Explorer with it or Microsoft Edge. It always works better without as many glitches when you use Google Chrome or Firefox. Let's see. Premium vinyl by Cricut. Okay, another opinion that may not be popular is the Cricut vinyl is their brand vinyl is terrible. I haven't had good luck with it. I don't feel like it's made that well, and especially for the price that they charge for it is absolutely outrageous. I would definitely, I mean, the brands that I recommend, such as the Oracals, Avery's, 3M's, as far as adhesives go, or the Specialty Materials, Thermoflex Plus, these are those types of things for HTDs. These are professional grade brands. These have been around for a long time. These are what we used in the industry before the Cricuts came out with their own brand. Cricut makes a great machine. It is my favorite by far for the home cutting machines. Yes, I'm thinking about actually doing some live videos more often. Maybe we can start scheduling them for Tuesdays if y'all like the idea of this. I am enjoying being able to interact with y'all. So let me know if that's something y'all are interested in, is doing live more often. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that is my own personal opinion, but it is also an opinion that is shared by many, many others. Let's see. Oh, thank you, DJ. Let's see. Yay, Scan and Cut tutorials. We are working on more Scan and Cut tutorials. Scan and Cut's a little bit slower than the Silhouette and the Cricut, because I am much more familiar with the Cricut and the Silhouette. But we are going to be using the Scan and Cut more often. I am definitely trying to branch out there to show y'all more than just Cricut. But I'm also interested in knowing if y'all are, because I've done a few like Corel videos, and I've done I think one on Inkscape, but I'm not sure if that's something y'all are interested in seeing, is more of the actual design aspect of it. So let's see, showing vinyls and what settings you would use to cut each vinyl. Okay, so part of the issue with trying to show each vinyl and what settings to cut it with is every machine is different. It depends on how sharp your blade is, how old your blade is. Inkscape is free. Caesar is a great vinyl. My issue with Caesar is I don't like how it wrinkles up after washing, so you have to like re-iron it to get it to look good. Inkscape is a free art program. I use Corel Draw typically more often to use for my designing program. Let's see, SureCuts a lot. I have worked with SureCuts a lot. Actually, several years ago with my Roland GX24. It's a different brand of cutter. The Roland software was really kind of terrible. So we bought the SureCuts a lot, and I've used that quite a bit, not the newer version. So maybe I need to get into the SureCuts a lot. Yes, Tammy, I did get your information about the Disneyland restaurants. We are definitely interested in trying some of those out. We are super duper excited for our Disneyland trip. Sometimes it's hard, like whenever I get an email like that, Tammy, to respond back to everybody, but like I still have it saved in there. I planned on responding back, but it's just been kind of crazy around here. You want to learn how to use Inkscape. Yeah, Inkscape's great free art program. The problem with Inkscape is since it is an open source software, people can go in and change things. Let's see, the Lou, what is this channel about? We do all types of Cricut silhouette tutorials, craft tutorials, vinyl. To me, it's just kind of a fun place to be. Especially pressure sensitive vinyl. It's a learning curve, but it is beautiful. Yes, that is absolutely stunning. A water slide? Yes, we can. She looks like Anna. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. And typically, yes, when you purchase a program, it is easier to use, and there are a lot more, like you can buy a book on it. That's where I'm terrible. I do video tutorials, but that's not how I like to. Okay. Sorry, had to delete someone who was not being very nice. So you're going to Disneyland in October, November. Awesome. Let's see. For glitter HTV on air 2, typically on the knob, you know where it says iron on. I typically have to turn it just to the dot above it. Is Disney a trademark? Yes, Disney is trademark, and you can pay to get a license to use their characters. So whenever it comes to the Disney things, I can give it away. That's why I give it away on Patreon, but I am not allowed to sell it, period. It is one of those things where you can get into a whole lot of trouble over a little bit of money to sell copyrighted material. So typically anything with logos, Harley Davidson, Disney, Warner Brothers, that is all copyrighted. And unless you are actually making things, there are some times that you can go around and use, what is it? Parodies and things like that are legal. Yeah, Mickey don't play, but we are going to be making a Mickey Minnie Easter design. Oh yeah, we will always do other Disney shirts. I make them for myself. That's part of the reason why I give them away. I want people to have fun with it. What setting for the velvet throw on Easy Press? I would start at 320 and see how that goes. You want to be careful not to crush your material. Could you run multiple Cricuts at once at the same time if you had a large job? Yes, you can, but it would be a pain in the hiney because it would take and bog down your internet, because sometimes we do have two of them going. But if you're really wanting to run big jobs and you're getting to the point where you're doing big jobs frequently, I would definitely recommend looking into a professional grade cutter, something that you can cut 100 items at once. Do you think Etsy sellers who have SVGs are all copyrighted? Okay, slowly but surely, Cricut does go after the people on Etsy who are selling the SVGs. Preferably, if it has an actual character on it, typically it is copyrighted. And once Disney notices, they do go for they do go after them. Let's see, how far is your shop from Houston? We're about 75 miles southeast of Houston. So yeah, Linda, whenever you're in that area, definitely come down and say hi. Let's see. Islet Asor, you're from Israel. Oh, hi. Let's see. I have a scan and cut, and can I do the same things if I had a Cricut? Yeah, pretty much you can do the same things between all three machines. I love watching you do your tutorials when you are able to do ones where we can do it along with you. It helps me learn more. Thank you. You're welcome. And I'm trying to get more. That's part of the thing is we're doing much more in-depth tutorials. We want to, the only parts I'm trying to cut out are some of them is sending things to cut. Because it takes, especially on some of the machines, it takes so long to do it. And we don't want to sit there and make videos an hour long. I don't have time. At least whenever I can send things to cut and I'm not on camera, I can get a chance to have a break and do other parts of my job. So what iron-ons do I recommend? That's part of the reason why we switched over to selling the Thermaflex Plus. I've had good luck with it. Like this is that chameleon vinyl. As you can see, this is like the third or fourth time it's been washed and it still looks pretty good. How do you get permission from Disney to use it? You have to contact Disney and you have to pay for a license, and it is expensive. Yes, you see a lot of it on Etsy, but it's just how it is. They're not going to be able to stop everybody, because once they stop one person, someone else comes up. Yes, I'm going to be doing a lot more tutorials on the silhouette. You melted your t-shirt guide. I'm so sorry about that. We can't send another one out for free though. Is this my full-time job? Is YouTube my full-time job? No, YouTube is not my full-time job. Running this business that is attached to my YouTube channel is my full-time job. So I still do a lot with YouTube, but taking and placing orders, doing customs, because what some of you may not realize, oh, this is the chameleon violet that's on my shirt. It is available on our website. But what some of you who are new may not realize is that this is actually, even though I do this on camera, it started off because we sell vinyl. We are a craft vinyl store, but we also create huge signs. So I've been in the professional sign industry for about 12 years. We've been doing screen print for about 7 years. So we screen print shirts. We do big orders of t-shirts and things like that. And the reason why I ever got into doing like Cricut and silhouette and things like that is we got a lot of phone calls on selling like our scrap vinyl. And I was like, well, maybe we should take and start a store. So we started this business. So it's, you know, kind of cool. Let's see. What software do you use to make larger image for? Well, typically, okay, and this is coming from, again, from me being in the screen print background. When you're doing an adult size shirt, 10.5 inches is the standard across the board. So it doesn't matter if it's an extra small all the way up to a 4XL shirt, unless they're paying for an oversized design, everything is 10.5 inches wide. Let's see. Can I explain Asperger's? Okay, yes, my son has Asperger's, which is a form of autism where it is lacking in social skills is the best way to describe it. He has trouble identifying social cues, empathy, things like that. Let's see. Hi, Elizabeth. So you're from Australia. Christmas, mid-year Christmas, like Christmas in July. We shall see about that. Christmas was a whole lot of work. Trying to get videos out 7 days a week, and sometimes we did 2 videos a day. How much are those camo shirts going to be? I think they're like $14. I could be wrong about that. That part I don't handle for the business. Do I ship to Iowa? Yes, we ship actually all over the world. So pretty much everywhere in the United States. So I guess that's going to be it. We've been on here for about 30 minutes at this point. So I guess I'll cut it off here. And I guess we will do another one of these next Tuesday. So we will see you at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on, let's see, what is the next Tuesday? So 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on March the 15th. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. We'll see y'all in tomorrow's regularly scheduled video. So bye.